Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something that should be pretty easy. It should be a pretty quick fix. We are going to replace an Evap canister, aka a charcoal canister. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know what these are or that these are on modern cars or the symptoms they cause when they go bad. So I'm going to run that down for you real quick. The main purpose of this is to gather the gases from the fuel tank that create pressure, cycle them through this, and then to your engine. So I believe the way that it goes is that the gases come from your fuel tank into here. They come out here, I believe, and go to your engine. Your engine actually has a vacuum that pulls them in. And then I believe this one may be in overflow to allow for the gases to be exhausted into the atmosphere. Now I could have these lines kind of mixed up, but I'm pretty sure I don't, but I could. So keep that in mind. The main purpose or the main faults that this thing creates is that you can fill your gas tank up and you'll get a strong gas smell. A lot of times that happens because these crack. The other problems that you can have is issues with your fuel gauge reading wonky. It'll read high at some points, lower at other points, and I believe this is from the when these things get clogged up, those exhaust gases build pressure in the tank, which affects how the resistance reads on your fuel gauge. The other thing that this creates is the gases will back up when you're fueling up your car. They will back up to the actual pump itself and cause it to click off. So if you go to put gas in your car and you get a couple dollars in and then the pump clicks off like it's full, that is because those exhaust gases from the fuel have no place to go because this has become saturated, and the only place for them to exit is up where you're fueling from, and that causes the pump to click off. All of these issues are fairly normal, but it does cause a couple of additional issues if it gets bad. It can cause a lean or rich situation depending on the vehicle you own. It could cause a random misfire situation depending on the type of vehicle you own, and it can cause reduced fuel efficiency also depending on the type of vehicle you own. Now, if you get any of those types of issues, you want to replace your Evap canister. These are relatively inexpensive online. They're much more expensive at an auto parts store. The quality of the one at the auto parts store, I would bet, is better than what you're going to get online, but in these days, it's hard to tell. I mean, all the different places that you would get parts from, they get a lot of their parts from China as well, so sometimes you can get these parts and they're the same for a much reduced price online. You really just got to shop around and see. This one here, I believe I paid $30 for. So I'm going to slap this on. It's pretty simple. It's not very, very difficult. It should be a pretty easy process to follow. So come along with me and we'll get it installed. All right, so here is the Evap canister. This is on a 2008 Escalade. In my experience, these are usually a lot easier to get to than this. They're either mounted to the front or the back of the gas tank, which is right here. Now this one is next to the gas tank, but it's mounted to the floor with this metal plate. So this one's a little different than the ones I've done before. They're all going to be a little different. You're going to kind of have to hunt them down wherever they're mounted. The easiest way to do that I've found is, you buy the part, you make sure you got the right part, and then you look for that part. Now, it's always basically a box with hoses coming off of it, so you can also figure it out that way. But this one appears to be held on by, there went my ratchet, 2 bolts there and a bolt there. So let's see if we can get these off. So after switching out the extension and turning the bolt in the correct way, we got the first one loose. Well, shit, this is doing this one-handed, man. But anyways, we're going to take these 2 bolts out. This is a 13 millimeter if you're working on this specific vehicle. And we're gonna take these 3 bolts out and we're gonna see if that gets this plate to come off. Okay, so change your plans. This was not what I expected. Apparently this plate is what the canister bolts to. So as I'm removing these two, this entire thing is coming loose. Now what I don't want is for this thing to come off and the weight of it put a bunch of weight on these hoses and risk breaking any of these clamps. So what I'm going to do before finishing removing that bolt is I'm going to disconnect these clamps. All right, so now that I got myself in position, we're going to try and take this one here off. Now, I've come across these clips before, and hopefully you can see that. I'm going to show you what I tried to do. What I have here is a couple of big nails. All right, now when you're done with these, make sure you don't leave them in your driveway because you're not going to like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping I can watch myself on camera and do this. I'm going to push one up on one side. Okay. Make sure, did I get that correct? I think so. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm trying to watch myself do this through the camera here. Hold on. All right. Now, usually that pulls those off enough. So then what I do is I'm gonna take a screwdriver and I'm gonna put it, I don't know if I can show you guys this, I'm trying. Put it behind the edge of it, and then try and wedge it off. I know you can't really see. Maybe if I go like this, and then I'm gonna try and pry it off. And be careful of that. So you get the idea. Let me climb up here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this off. I'm gonna make sure that I got these nails in the right place without trying to do it through the phone. And then I'll bring you back in. Okay, let me show you this real quick, because I had it wrong the last time. You want to get the nails underneath of the retaining tabs. Okay? I had them over top, so I was trying to do it through the phone. I'm gonna get them underneath, and now I'm gonna try prying this thing off. Okay, the one nail already fell out. I can go ahead and take the other one out so that it doesn't follow me as well. And now that I got it pried, I should just be able to pull it off the rest of the way. That's assuming I can get a grip on it somewhere here. You can see it's already almost off of there. Shoot, come on. I think I'm gonna need both hands for this. Oh, maybe not. It's coming slowly. Oh. All right, there we go. Finally got it off. That thing is tight. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is going to be, let's see if I can find the best angle for it, is going to be right there. And I don't know if you can see, but right here is a little button. Okay, you're gonna wanna push that button. The easiest way to do that is with the screwdriver, which I have conveniently set somewhere that I cannot find. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, see if I can get, there we go. Get up here, and we want to push that in. Once that's been pushed in, this should just pop off. Now, I don't know if that's gone in all the way or not. Usually it makes a little click noise. Let me use both my hands and try and push it in. You guys get the idea though. So there's our old Evap canister out. I wanted to make one slight correction. Instead of taking the nut off this side, which I thought I was going to have to do after, you know, looking at it for 2 more seconds, I realized that it's just the bolt. You just got to take the bolt off. So this one's come out of there, and if you notice, we have these little retainer clips that go into, I believe, those little things. So if we set it right on here, it should drop down in here the way it needs to be. Boom, just like that. All right, so now all I need to do is put this bolt back in, and we should be ready to reinstall. So as it is with most aftermarket parts these days, when set on here, that hole does not line up with that groove. So, and I think it is because maybe the front of this, those little notches are deeper than these notches are. That's really the only thing that makes any sense to me. I guess I could knock those down a little bit, but I think the easiest way to go is this is just a little plastic clip. Let's see, I don't know if I'm catching that. This is just a little plastic clip here. I think I'm just gonna drill it down a little bit to make some more room. I think it'd probably just be the easiest way. It's got this center bar here. It should be fine. Should be able to take a little off of there, and it shouldn't be an issue at all. So I'm gonna drill that out, and then we'll put it back on the bracket. All right, I drilled this down some, but I didn't really want to go any farther with it, and it still didn't line up. And so what I've decided to do is I'm hammering down these little tabs to make them not quite so tall. I don't think that that's going to be a problem. I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but I think it's just the easier way to do it. I don't want to cut that down too much. So I figure if I make these tabs just a little more bent in and not quite so tall, I think we should be fine. So let's see, I'll try and do one. So all I'm doing is I take it and give it a whack and bend it slightly in. That's all I'm doing. So I've already done these two. I'm working on, and I'm going to do these two, and then I'm going to put the Evap canister onto this bracket. All right, so our new Evap canister is installed. So if you want to see the end result, there you go. There's still a little bit of spacing there, so I think that's fine. I did have to put a little bit of down pressure on that bolt to get it started. Once I got it started, it was fine. I think this is good. And the reason I brought you back to show you the difficulties of getting it on the bracket, or, you know, the location difficulties, is because you watch a lot of these videos and it's like, oh, you do this and you do this and you do this, and it takes you 3 minutes and then you're done and everything's perfect. Well, a lot of times when you're dealing with aftermarket parts, that's not how it goes. You're gonna have to do slight modifications. You're gonna have to do stupid little stuff like this to make a new part work on an older system. Like, for example, look at how the tip of every single one of these, I don't know, nipples, for lack of a better term, is rounded out. Then look at how these are. These are squared. Will that make a difference with the lines going back on? I don't know. It may not have any impact at all, or it might completely change how they go back on. So just to err on the side of caution, I'm going to put some WD-40 on these, and hopefully that gives us the best opportunity possible for when we push the lines back on. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put the WD-40 on, I'm going to take it back under the car, and we're going to start to mount it. All right, so here we are. We're back under the car. Let's see if we can get this in here one-handed while holding a phone. All right, so there we go. Now, I think I am going to put one of these bolts, just at least start it. I decided, what the hell, and I started both of them. Neither one of them are tightened up. You can see that. We're gonna go around here, and really, most of these lines should just line up and push right back on. Like they, I don't know if you can, damn it, my fingers in the way, or, yeah. Here, they should just line up and just push right back on. There we go. I hope I caught that. So that one's on. The WD-40 helps sometimes. Now this one, remember, this is our one that, if I can get my hand up there, this is our one with the red clip on it. All right, so once we push this on all the way, we want to push that red clip, get our finger on top. I don't know if you can see that or not, but get our finger on top and then push that little clip back down, thus locking that one. So that's all the way on, clip push back down, locked in place. This one, just push back on and locked in place. This one, remember the button one, if I can find where the hose went, I believe it's on top. All right, so let's come from a different angle. All right, and we'll get that up here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Shoot. This one is a hard one to get an angle on. All right, I think we can barely see it that way. Bring this one and push it all the way in. You hear it click? All right, so that's all of them. All the hoses are connected, brackets in place, new Evap canisters on. So I'm gonna tighten up these bolts, then I guess we're gonna turn the car on and see if anything leaks. Really shouldn't, but just on the chance that it does, we wanna be careful. So I'm gonna take you out of here, let's tighten her up, and then I'll bring you back for the final check. As you can see, there's no drips. I think we're good. Always good to double check your work. You never know. I could have gotten a faulty part, could have already had a crack in it, could have been dropped in shipping and been damaged. I mean, shoot, it still could be, to be honest with you. Won't know until we actually use it, but it doesn't appear to be dripping now. So I'll take that as a win for now. Once I put gas in it and do all the other stuff, we'll see if it corrects the other problems and, you know, make sure that this thing's okay. All right, so replaced the canister. I took it for a test drive, put gas in it. It didn't trigger the handle anymore. Wasn't acting like it was full every $2. There's no leaks that I can see or hear or feel. I did get under there and kind of feel the lines to make sure that there was no vacuum leaks. They can throw off some codes if it's got some vacuum leaks, so you want to be careful of that. But all in all, it's a fairly easy fix. Now, depending on the different kind of car you have, your Evap canister, once again, is going to be located in a different place. It may have different connections, all of that. This is just one example. So remember that when you get into it. But this is how you do it if you have, I believe, an 07 through a 14 Cadillac Escalade. Pretty much every other vehicle should be fairly similar. If not the same, very similar. So just keep that in mind, and just remember, I mean, don't get frustrated. You saw the reason I showed the adjustments to the bracket that I had to make and all of that. I could have acted like, you know, everything went perfect, but I wanted to show you, like, don't get frustrated. A lot of times aftermarket parts, they're not going to fit exact. You got to take a minute, think it through, you know, adjust to the current situation. Usually there's a fairly easy fix if you're just patient and don't freak out. So remember that when you're doing this kind of stuff, you're going to run into issues, you're going to run into problems. I thought this would be like a quick 10-15 minute job. It ended up taking about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes. I also did video it, so I mean, you add another little bit for that stuff. But all in all, I mean, it's fairly simple. It's not rocket science. And if you know the symptoms and you get down there and give it a shot, I'm pretty sure you'll be successful. So if this has helped you, if it makes it any easier for you, if it helped you figure out a problem with your vehicle or whatever else, give me a like, give me a subscribe, do the things. You know what the things are. Do the things. Leave a comment. If you think I'm an idiot and this wasn't the way to do it and whatever, tell me that too. I mean, you might be right. I am not a licensed, trained mechanic or anything like that. I'm a guy who's just been doing this for the majority of his life. Starting with simpler cars and kind of working my way along, figuring problems out as they come. The idea here is save a little money. You know, it's so expensive nowadays, and to have to take your car to a dealership or to a mechanic, you might not have the money. You might be living paycheck to paycheck, and you just need to figure it out so that you can make your next paycheck. That's what these videos are for. That's why I do this, to help you out, to try and save you some money, some time, some effort. If I get in there and I run across a bunch of problems, if you see how I fix them, then maybe it'll inspire you to be able to do the same thing. So I hope you did get something out of this. I hope you get something out of a lot of my videos. But like I said, if you do the things. All right, guys, until the next one.